What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to go over the highlights of Day 6 of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. So I'm going to try to refine this a little bit better, right? Just in terms of if you guys literally did not watch the trial, like in that day, what happened? What do I think about it? That's what I'm going to try to get at more as these days go on. And, you know, I've promised you guys I'll do it every day. You guys asked for it, so I will do it. So today was every second, except for the last 15 minutes, still the normal just asking of Johnny Depp from his own people, right? So just getting the story straight. And it's the title, you know, of this video. It's really what everybody's talking about today on social media. This was his time. This was his time to tell his story and finally be able to talk. I was surprised. I mean, he's amazing and hilarious when it comes to objections from the other side, from Amber. He's very funny when it comes to them asking him questions. We'll get there at the end of this video, but he's really good. And really, you know, there were objections here and there, but 9 hours, like today and yesterday, right? Because he went for several hours yesterday. He was just able to talk. He was able to talk. He was able to tell his side of things. He was able to go on a lot of tangents. And again, you know, you see people say, well, does he have to do this? Or, you know, you're putting me to sleep. I mean, I will say it did drag on a little bit. Like after the lunch break and after they came back, you know, there was a portion of it where it kind of got a little too mellow, or even I was kind of drifting. Yet again, watching this now for however many days it's been, the entire day, you know, it's on the computer, I'm trying to do other stuff. I guess my mind would wander, right? So, but it's hard. I mean, the jury, you need to keep them engaged. You need to keep, that jury needs to, and I will say he has a way of doing that. Whether it's stories or whether, especially now in this cross-examination, whether it's kind of like doing like what I just did, where he's like that. He does that a lot when objections come. He likes to throw in little things with objections where he's like, well, I saw it, like it's evidence, so I'm allowed to read it, but I'm not allowed to say anything about it. And he'll like say that into the microphone to the other side as the judge is, and it's very good. I'm not sure how much of that stuff he's going to get away with long term, like specifically tomorrow, right? Because they could very well stop him. As the last 15 minutes went on, he was kind of stopped pretty often where they're not letting him talk so long because he can go on and he can tell stories and he can keep you engaged, honestly, very well, considering he talked for 7 hours today. I was engaged for all but 35 minutes. He's got a way of doing it. Now, okay, philosophical things aside, what did we actually get to today? Everything. We got the plane incident. We got his finger I wish I recorded it. Maybe I would. Maybe I will in the future record some of my reactions to these things. It was pretty much what you saw on Nick Rekieta's stream at the time. Just kind of pure shock when he's describing it. You know, he's got his hand and he's playing it out. He stands up and he does it literally in front of them. And he tells the story of how his finger was chopped off and, oh my God, you know what I mean? And then they showed a picture. They showed a picture in the ER of his finger, his middle finger. Top was gone, blood. You know, I think I'm allowed to say that for YouTube. We're just not allowed to show it. It was bad. It's something where you look at that and you say, that was not him. He did not do that to himself. Yes, he said that. He did tell select people what really happened. And yes, he lied. And even he would throw out, right, when he did the surgery, I believe, to reattach it, he told the person what happened. And the person looked to him as if he was lying to him, because he was. He was telling a made-up story to basically, you know, make it so that nobody gets in trouble. Nothing gets too far. But the phone calls, they played a couple phone call clips of Amber screaming at him, and not the one, you know, the big one, not where she says like, tell the world you're an abuser or you're the victim, see how many believe you. Not that one. Other ones that very much she admits like, yeah, I hit you, but it was a slap. It wasn't a full-on punch. You know, oh my God. So it was great. It was about as good, again, like I said yesterday. I mean, hearing these stories, hearing the finger, hearing her attacking him, and he's dodging himself. He has to like restrain her. He has to get her in like a bear hug to stop her. You know, when she does, or when somebody involved with her does stuff on his bed, you know, in the penthouse suite, which I think we've all heard the story of, you know, doing number 2 basically on it. I mean, it's insane. It's been clear for me, obviously, for a very long time, I think, the people that stood behind Johnny Depp, but how do you watch that? And either it's the greatest told story, made up story you've ever heard in your life, or she's a flat out liar, and she is the problem here. Again, I'm sure he did make mistakes. He admits it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's perfect. And I try to make that kind of apparent in all these videos, because I don't want to make it like I'm shilling, I'm bowing to the feet of this Hollywood elite. I think he's a real person. I do. I genuinely believe he's a real person who's just had some, look at these things that he's detailed today. It's insane. It's insane what he's been through, specifically with her. So they went through the mother story, the divorce story, losing out on roles. The big stuff towards the end, and even then what was then talked about from the defense, from Amber, was Pirates 6, obviously. That strikes a chord. Emotional. I felt it. I wasn't like tearing up or crying, but I felt it when, he was brought in to help write Pirates 6, and then, they let him go. He's not, he says Pirates 6 right now is in dangling mode. I don't know if that's I don't know what that means. That could just be a made up lingo of him, not of Hollywood, but that hurts to hear. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to make it any more real to you. That truly hurts me to hear that kind of stuff. And then, all right, we got 7 hours, right? Or however long it was, 6, 5, 7, whatever. And so that was all him being asked questions, and he told his story. He went through every single day. He went over the thing of basically it was a combined effort from Amber, Rocky, Io, I believe, right? All these people literally just her screaming, "Johnny, stop hitting me, Johnny, stop hitting me." And then the security guard came in, right? Jerry Judge came in immediately because he was told by Johnny to watch the door, and Johnny Depp standing 20 feet away, which was corroborated. One of them said, I think Malcolm, right, or whatever the head of his security is, he said that a couple days ago. So it's important. We got these jury members better be connecting the dots here, because you had a security guard who said when he walked in, they were so far apart, there was nothing that was happening. He heard yelling, but that was it. And then Johnny Depp tells the story. Amber, pretty much, they're standing very far apart, and Amber just starts screaming, "Stop hitting me, Johnny, stop hitting me." And she's got somebody on the phone, and there's a person there. So they're they're literally trying to create a fake event, right? And they got caught, in my opinion. So again, hopefully the jury is paying attention to this stuff. So that was all the Johnny Depp stuff. We got pretty much everything. I liked a couple things. I liked the mention of the kids, the fact that the kids hated Amber Heard. They never seemed like really liked her in the first place, but pretty much what he was getting at was that they knew that she was bad for him, and maybe they kept that quiet from him for a little bit, but he knew that they always knew stuff, kind of situation like that. But like I said, the best parts and the parts that I think do keep the jury in it was his relationship with that Roddenberry, right? The lead attorney for Amber Heard. And I think what keeps him going, or what keeps the interest in him going throughout the day, is again with those objections where he always had Johnny. He always has a look or like a surprise thing or kind of a thing where it's like, I know what you're trying to do. Like, you don't want me to say this kind of thing, but I think it makes perfect sense to say it. Like, that kind of back and forth, he very clearly has it with this guy. He hates him. It's very clear. And I'm sure Amber hates all of Johnny Depp's people, including Johnny Depp himself, which we all know, right? But I think that added a little bit, right? Because every time there was an objection, I just looked, and they were always showing, for the most part, Johnny Depp. And it's like you just look at his reaction and you just kind of laugh, because he either has something to say, kind of sarcastically poking at them, or funny, or he just looks like, I know what you're doing, stuff like that. He called himself out. He literally said, like, I suppose that's hearsay, though. See, I'm learning. And it's like, these are good lines. These are good lines that make him feel very personable, because maybe you do mess up. Maybe you do say something that is hearsay, right? It would get objection. You wouldn't be able to say it. And so, like, that part of it's like, well, anybody would maybe do that by accident. So he's not playing into it. He's literally being a human. Like, you make that mistake, and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm learning on the fly here. Or things that do make a lot of sense, that the judge is just an idiot. The judge, yes, his lawyers are not fighting it nearly enough. Not nearly enough. But the judge is also an idiot. And the judge is literally doing double standards, where something that would be hearsay, if it's called against Johnny Depp, they would win. But if Johnny Depp's side calls hearsay or you didn't lay the foundation or whatever against Amber's lawyers talking, no, she allows it, overruled. But for them, she sustains it. So it's a joke, really, the whole thing. I just don't think the judge I don't really think she's like paid off or bought off. I think she's just bad at her job, or at least bad at this job, this specific instance. That's my opinion. And that's okay if it's not yours. It's just mine. But then you had the last 15 minutes of today being cross-examination. So that's Amber's team talking to Johnny. And pretty much, and it's what I've been saying, and, I've pretty much gotten the information from Nick Rekieta and all those people. The thing is, they're suing over that op-ed, those lines in the op-ed, which don't directly say his name. Now, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff with that, where the ACLU was literally talking to Amber about Johnny Depp, so it was clearly about him. She didn't even write half the thing, right? They wrote it. Their own lawyers wrote it. And that stuff should make it in. It should make it in as evidence, so hopefully that stuff gets put to bed real easy. But, that's the point. That's what Amber's side is arguing, where it's like, hey, you're not suing her because of things that happened in 2014, 2015, 2016, the divorce and the restraining order. That's not what you're suing about. You're suing about this. And that is true, and that's, again, the reason why it's going to be so hard for him to win is because of that technicality. But the thing is, does the jury care? The jury are human beings that are hearing these stories, and if you're reminded over and over and over again, okay, well, you have to look at this specific thing. This is why we're all here. You're only judging it based off of this small little criteria. Yeah, they may be swayed for Amber to win, but in general, it's like, well, how do you hear all that stuff and your opinion doesn't change, or your opinion doesn't get formed in the first place? Do you know what I mean? So I get that it's a hard case for him to prove. Really, I don't think it's that difficult. It's just in terms of like the technicalities of it is hard to really, really show. And then when you have objections and all these sides fighting and stuff, it does get hard. But I think the general idea is easy enough. But hopefully the jury gets it. Hopefully the jury gets it. I mean, the thing that they were attacking Johnny Depp for was that, you were going to get kicked out of Pirates 6 anyway. You were going to get kicked out. You were kicked out a couple months before the op-ed published. And it's like, well, firstly, that was a rumor. I don't even know. I don't really get that. Was it confirmed from Disney? Do they have the proof of that? Do they talk to the Disney executives? Because what we know is Johnny Depp was part of the team. So can you prove it in terms of Amber's side? Johnny doesn't really have to prove much, right? It's like I don't really get that on the surface level. But then even that, Johnny Depp goes back and says, well, this stuff had been happening for 2 years because of the restraining order and all of the headlines that were posted before December of 2018 from, whenever it was, May, June, July of 2016 to December of 2018, those 2 years, there was a lot of talk about me with Amber in terms of the stuff that I supposedly did, right? And that's what he was kind of saying, is this stuff had already been going on. They need to focus on this was the catalyst that really ended it all, right? That this is the thing that was a buildup of all of Amber's lies, all of her manipulation, and it wasn't for money, right? And Johnny Depp can't be suing her for money. The point is, she was doing this for, she was doing this for her own ego. She was doing this maybe to bury her own abuse to him that she didn't want to get. Like, that's the stuff that they have to focus on. So, I do feel anxious, like anxiety, when their Amber side is questioning Johnny Depp. He's just like, I like him. I want him to win. They're going to assassinate his character. They're going to go after this stuff. Also, because of his melancholy, kind of like, slight tone of voice and the way that he talks very slowly and he spaces it out, how's he going to do? We got a preview. We got 15 minutes of it. I think he did pretty good. Like, even in that 15 minutes, the Roddenborn guy, which he likes to remind him of his name, which I like because it's like Rodden, so you have to. It's a horrible last name, okay, specifically for a lawyer. So I think Johnny Depp knows that because he keeps saying the last name just to remind people what this guy's name is. And what I liked about it though is in that 15 minutes, he was stopped. He wasn't allowed to talk for hours like he was with his own people, but he did get a good average. He got a good amount out. He was able to kind of talk, and he was stopped a couple times, but he was able still, and again, he would have very witty, he'd be like, well, this is December 19th. You just said December 18th. The 19th and the 18th, those aren't the same days. And it's like, yeah, go at, again, I don't know how much he's going to be allowed to do that, especially, and you don't want him flipping out, getting very, very, visibly angry. Amber will do that for you. She'll do that when she's on stage. You don't need to do that. You need those witty remarks, those kind of smirks, those laughs, those things that make it be like, you're just attacking me. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you're trying to get me on. You're just a liar. You're a pathetic, person. You're a pathetic lawyer. Like that, and you have to do that subtly. And if he can do that, which I do believe in the 15 minutes, he was able to do that. He was able to answer questions. Sure, it wasn't like he didn't look great because it's the other side. Now they're not trying to make him look great. They're trying to make him look like a devil, right? Which is funny enough, her nickname. But, like that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to withstand the insults and the accusations and this character assassination they're going to throw at him, because that's the way it is. And if he can kind of sneak, and this is my opinion, honestly, if he can sneak in here and there those nice little smirks or the nice little comebacks, or when somebody does an objection and his side loses, if he makes a remark like, oh, like that wouldn't happen for you, if you can sneak that in, not every time, if you can sneak it in here and there, that's going to make him come off very, I think, good, because he already did. That's another thing. Amber most likely is going to, because if you've seen interviews with her, she's going to come off horrible the whole time. Johnny Depp had 9 hours to come off as a gentle, humble human being. You know what I mean? He doesn't look bad. He looks very relatable as much as he can. He looks very personable. He's very likable. Okay? He already was. He looks more so now. So if he can keep that while being assassinated, I think it's going to be fine. And the reason, by the way, why I'm spending so many minutes on this is that, I'm looking at the timer, is because tomorrow it's probably the whole day. Maybe not, because they're going to try to cut him off a lot. So maybe it takes half a day, maybe a full day tomorrow. I doubt it takes a full day, to be honest with you. So maybe like half a day tomorrow is going to be them going at him. And again, it's kind of like a preview, right? Like, what does he have to do? That's the stuff I think he has to do. And then it goes back to his side for the final kind of stuff. And then we go on to whoever is the next witness. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about today's video. Make sure you guys leave a like if you want to leave a comment, something to kind of help the video spread out a little bit more. Sharing it obviously helps, but anything you want to do helps. Watching the full video helps. Tomorrow we'll do another highlight recap kind of thing, and then maybe we can recap the week if you guys want to see me do that. Maybe Friday I can kind of talk about the whole week, or maybe we can preview next week, something like that. Whatever you guys want to see, let me know. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when I put these videos up. All my social media is in the description below if you guys want to check that out as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.